Reading Rainbow. That's gonna be a hellish thing to look at. After spending the afternoon tending my garden, I will now play the video game. Viscera cleanup detail and poetry. Get with it or go without it. I want to take a brief moment to make a statement here. So I could not find PDFs of either of these two books that we're about to read. First of all, is annoying. Come on. Second of all, these copies, while I do love archive.org, I love the open library, these copies, part of the text is like not being read. So like free down here, it's not going to read that. And there's a few other lines that it's not going to read. And that's really annoying. I could probably go out and find like, 20 different PDFs of like fucking Jane Eyre or some shit. But then, the only copies that I can find of, Audre Lorde, Black Unicorn, and the Marvelous Arithmetics of Distance, the ones that I can find of those are like kind of messed up. And not working. You want to present these texts to people, right? We have a class about the digital humanities. We're talking about like why is the digital humanities so white? And like part of this is just like getting access to these texts to use them in like this kind of space. It's just very difficult. Like how having a text available for different mediums makes it more widely circulate within the world and become more available to the world. We need these texts to be available. And I've read so many texts on this platform, right? There are flaws, and there shouldn't be. And it's something that somebody needs to do something about. I don't know who, I don't know how, but like, something. Come on! Anyway, we're gonna start on the marvelous arithmetics of distance. Anyway, rushing headlong into new silence, your face dips on my horizon, the name of a cherished dream, riding my anchor one sweet season to cast off. No reckoning allowed save the marvelous arithmetics of distance. So we're going on an adventure, and we aren't going to think about anything but where we're going, or how to get where we're going. Yeah, how to get the marvelous arithmetics of distance. One of those like things where they like go on the map and they're like measuring, what is that called? I don't know what that's called. They're like figuring out how far they have left to go. Smelling the wind. Like, bring me that horizon.
Leaps the divider like a steel gazelle, inescapable, sleek leather boots on the pavement, rat-a-tat-tat, best intentions going down for the third time, stuck in the particular, you cannot make love to concrete. If you care about
in the particular, thinking about like particularizing, like actually a thing. Particularizing. Mention or describe, treat individually or in detail. Stuck in the particular. We are particular. We are treating this. We are stuck treating this like it's the only time it's ever going to happen. Do not make love to concrete if you care about being non-essential, wrong or worn, thin. I wonder if that's like intentional spacing or if it's just print, the way it's print. If you fear ever becoming diamonds or lard, you cannot make love to concrete if you can pretend concrete needs loving. If you cannot pretend. So you can't make love to concrete. You have to pretend that concrete needs loving. Make love to it. Make love to concrete, you need an indelible feather white dress before you are 10 in a confirmation lace veil, milk, large bones, and aid raid drills in your nightmares. I feel like that's air raid drills, but maybe not. Aid raid drills in your nightmares. No stars till you go to the country. And one summer, when you are 12, Con Edison pulls the plug on the street corners moons while Pergus knocked. Not make love to concrete. So you can't turn your partner into concrete and then pretend you can love them. And there's sudden new lights in the sky, stone chips that forget you need. Become a light rope, a hammer, a repeatable bridge, garden fresh broccoli, 2 dozen dropped eggs, and a hint of you caught up between my fingers. The lesson of a wooden beam propped on barrels across the mined terrain. Like a recipe. You need become, and a hint of you caught between, like a recipe. I mean, forgiving too easily and never giving at all. Well, in the previous one, Black Unicorn, she wrote a poem, and one of the poems was about this woman who would turn her into stone. And so I'm wondering if, the concrete cannot make love to concrete. She's turning her into stone. Echoes, timbre of voice that comes from not being heard and knowing you are not being heard, noticed only by others, not heard for the same. Flavor of midnight fruit, tongue calling your body through dark light, piercing the allure of safety, ripping the glitter of silence around you. Okay, we're gonna let the screen reader read this.
You are not being heard, noticed only by others, not heard for the same reason. Which dreams heal? Which dream can kill? Stabbing a man and burning his body for cover.
Yeah.
Being caught making love to a woman I do not know.
This is a poem. It's the end of a poem.
Domino. On Thursday she buried her featherbed at the foot of the garden. A Manx cat's bleached pelvic bone twirled in the sun. She had never intended to stay so long. Horizons burning past Forsythia Bracken, all roads out of her dooryard.
Do I know how to listen to poetry more easily? Like, is there a better way? What are you asking?
Every full moon the neighborhood cats came to worship to wait in a grim line under the apple tree. The cat bone swings to a heavy...
The thing about poetry is poetry, like, looks really hard and seems really complex. I think the big thing with poetry is not to, like, try to figure out what it means, but, like, try to clue into the vibes. So, like, if there's a word that, like, means something, then try to extrapolate from that word what the rest of the poem might mean. So, like, domino, right? She's talking about a cat. She's also talking about she. So could Domino be the name of a person? On Thursday, she buried her feather bed at the foot of the garden. A Manx cat's bleached pelvic bone twirled in the sun. She had never intended to stay so long. Horizons burning past Forsythia Bracken, all roads out of her dooryard, folded in upon reflection. Every full moon, the neighborhood cats came to worship, to wait in a grim line under the apple tree. The cat bone swings to a heavy beat. Sharpeville, Armstar, Chantilly, Birmingham, Sunday. Imagine yourself, Alabama, wanting to weep. This kind of reminds me of Nina Simone's Hot Mississippi Hot Dam. Or Hot Dam Mississippi, Nina Simone. Mississippi Goddamn. Mississippi Goddamn. Alabama's okay, let me look at the lyrics. Alabama's got me so upset. Tennessee made me lose my rest. And everybody knows about Mississippi, goddamn. Alabama's she repeats that. Alabama, Tennessee, Mississippi. I can't stand the pressure much longer. Somebody say a prayer. Alabama, Tennessee, Mississippi. That's what this reminds me of. Buried her feather bed at the foot of the garden, like a bed for the cats, maybe? And the cats are coming to look at the bone that's twirling around in the sun. Every full moon, the neighborhood cats came to worship. Let's look up some of these place names. They seem like Birmingham is a place, so Sharpeville Massacre, March 21, 1960. Okay, this is a Mississippi, goddamn. There's no information. The thing is that when it comes to poems, even if there's these place names, right? We can tell that these are place names, maybe. So let's look deeper into the place names, right? Oh, Shatala Massacre in Lebanon between, September 1982. Birmingham Sunday. Birmingham Sunday is a song. What is the meaning of Birmingham Sunday? A song, the bombing of the 16th Street Baptist Church by members of the KKK that killed 4 girls. Oh, here we go, 1984. There is a 1984. The 1984 anti-Sikh riots. That's in India, though. I mean, she does talk about international issues. Oh, God, it's a genocide. They call it. The British government covered up its role. So maybe that is what she's talking about. I'm not sure. Chantilly Massacre happened in 82. Imagine yourself, Alabama, wanting to weep. Cat bone swings to a heavy beat. It's like the idea of the spectacle. People's deaths, the deaths are turned into spectacle. The domino, like the domino effect where dominoes are knocking down other dominoes. It never intended to stay so long. Horizons burning. As Forsythia. What is Forsythia? That's a flower, isn't it? Oh yeah, it's like a yellow flower. Like a bright yellow flower. What does Forsythia symbolize? Excitement, anticipation, and a new start at the beginning of spring each year. A symbol of devoted love. Bracken? What's bracken? A tall fern with coarse lobed fronds, which occurs worldwide and can cover large areas. Is bracken poison? Bracken is poisonous to humanity. To humans. Bracken is poisonous to humanity. No, bracken is poisonous to humans. Not sure what to make of this one, but there's a lot going on in there.
The politics of addiction. 17 luxury condominiums electronically protected from criminal hunger. The homeless seeking a night's warmth across from the soup kitchen. St. Vincent's Hospital. Razor wire covering the hot air grates. Disrobed need shrieks through the nearby streets. Some no longer beg. A brown slow-eyed boy picks blotches from his face. Eyes my purse. Shivering white dust. A holy fire in his blood. At the corner. Fantasy parodies. Desire replaces longing. Green light.
I'm starting to think, what if it's not, like the marvelous arithmetics of distance? What if it's not like, how do we get where we're going, but rather, how did I get where I am? Because it seems like she's talking a lot about her family and her, life. I mean, of course she talks about her life, but like it seems like she's talking a lot about her family, about like major events that she's seen in her life. So I'm wondering if it's like, the marvelous arithmetics of distance, like the difficult miracle of Phyllis Wheatley. How does that one go? It was difficult miracle of black poetry. It was not natural, and she was the first. Come from a country of many tongues, tortured by rupture, by theft, by travel like mismatched clothing, packed down into the cargo hold of evil ships, sailing irreversible into slavery. Come to a country to be docile and dumb, to be big and breeding easily, to be turkey, horse, cow, to be cook, carpenter, plow, to be 5'6", 140 pounds, in good condition, and answering to the name of Tom or Mary. So this poet is talking about Phyllis Wheatley. Now, Phyllis Wheatley was one of the first, maybe not one of, maybe the first black poet in America. And so she was a enslaved person. She wrote poetry, and she had a lot of her poems published. Of course, that was, a difficult miracle, the difficult miracle of black poetry. And so I'm wondering, the marvelous arithmetics, right? A difficult miracle, a marvelous arithmetic. How did we get where we are? Not how do we get where we're going, but how did we get where we are? Because, like Phyllis Wheatley, it was not natural. She was the first, right? Audre Lorde's poem, what did she say? I think it's from the Black Unicorn. This is not expected, or it's basically it's a difficult miracle. Every day that you're living seems to be an impossibility, but here you are alive. You're living at the within the intersections of marginalization, and you're not expected to survive, but through every moment, every step you have. And so, the marvelous arithmetics. How did we get here? Reading Rainbow. God, that's gonna be a hellish thing to look at. I will see you in the next one. I'm gonna end it here. Thank you for joining. Make sure to follow, whatever, and I will see you in the next one.